ended last night. The fire alarm went off. Instead of leaving the building immediately, she walked around to see what her problem was. The blaring alarm sounded like the busy signal on the phone, but 1,000 times louder. The school seemed to be empty. Then she walked by one room and saw about 7 students inside.
And this paragraph, this word is instead.
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 Mhm.
Okay. What is this paragraph about?
That Jennifer's heard a fire alarm very loudly.
Okay. So what we know then is that we're not necessarily looking for the words in the paragraph. Jennifer went to investigate.
Went to investigate.
To investigate the sound.
The sound.
Okay. Again, we're not trying to remember word for word everything that was there.
Yeah. Just his meaning. Yeah, understand. But how can I say Jennifer went to see from where arrived this alarm?
You could definitely say that as well. You could say that. She went to investigate where the sound was coming from.
Okay. This okay. With from
She went.
Could you write it?
So let's see. And where is my writing tools? Okay, let me just stop sharing for a second. There. More. Where are my writing tools?
Jennifer.
Well, I can't find my writing tools.
Okay, no problem. Jennifer went to investigate. I write by investigate where
the sound was coming from.
Where the sound.
Yeah, she went to investigate. I need to change my light. The light's flashing.
Coming.
Okay. All right. So we got, do you have paragraph 2 now? Let's do paragraph 3.
Paragraph 3 is.
Just then.
Just 1 second. I didn't see it anymore. I will process. Okay. Close. Where is it? Oops. I didn't see it.
Okay, let me share again.
So yeah.
Share. Okay. So you're here.
Okay. Now I can see. Just the night supervisor came by. Okay. She told everyone to leave immediately. The students were parking their hair care equipment into their bags. The night supervisor waited impatiently. Finally, after almost 5 minutes, all the students and their teacher left the building. They apologized for being so slow.
Okay, this is hair care.
Hair care.
What's going on in this paragraph?
She told everyone to leave. But I do not know. Okay, this is maybe it's not important. The student wife picking the hair care. What the school is it? Hair care school.
They were just packing up their bags. So
Everyone,
we know that this is a school,
yeah.
and there's a loud sound coming from somewhere.
Everyone was asked to leave the building.
Everyone was
Okay.
asked to leave the building. That's pretty much all that I got. Everyone was asked to leave the building.
Everyone was asked
To leave the building.
to leave
The building.
the building. Okay.
Mhm.
Building. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Now read the last two paragraphs.
Okay. The fireman never arrived. Instead, a school police officer showed up. He walked around the area with the supervisor. It was a false alarm. The officer used his key to finally turn off the alarm. But it was too late for Jennifer. She had instead to the loud alarm for too long. No, she had listened the loud alarm for the too long. She should have known better. Even as she drove home, her ears felt strange.
And
So,
the last paragraph.
yeah, I
The last two. Summarize the last two paragraphs.
yeah, farmer. It was a false alarm.
Good.
False alarm. Jennifer's ears, last one, Jennifer ears was
Were.
were disturbed or something that you
Okay.
disturbed.
Okay, very good. So now what we have, let's see if I can do it a different way so that you can see what we were doing in paragraph 1. I'm just going to say 1. Jennifer's ears were ringing. 2. I don't know what I said, but I would say a fire alarm went off. And 3, everyone was asked to leave the building. 4, it was a false alarm. And then in 5,
Jennifer ears were still. So we have to always recognize the keywords
well,
and focus on the meaning.
I'm not sure if I understand. What keyword do you see? What keyword do you mean? I don't necessarily know it's the keywords, but I could say I understand it would be the keywords, but I'm not sure if your keyword would be what I'm saying. So let me explain it first. So as we look at each one of these paragraphs, it's important that we're understanding what we read before we go on further. So her ears were ringing. Those are my words. Her ears were, she was annoyed by the sound in her ear. Okay. In the second paragraph, oh, I know why her ears were ringing. It was because of a fire alarm. And I know something about fire alarms, that they're really loud and, you know, strong and constantly, because it's a warning. In paragraph 3, everyone was asked to leave the building. Oh, I get it. When there's an alarm, it's to suggest that there is an emergency and we need to evacuate the place. Well, Jennifer didn't do that. I remember she went around looking to see where the sound and the problem was. Okay. Then in paragraph 4, oh shoot, it wasn't even real. It was a false alarm. And that happens. False alarms, buzzers goes off and people have to leave the building. Now, Jennifer, unfortunately, stayed in the building far too long because when she first heard it, she didn't leave. She went closer to where the problem was, only to find out that there was no sense of emergency, but the alarming of the bell irritated or annoyed her ears. Okay.
Mhm. Okay.
Now,
Perfect.
now that I've got my 5 sentences, I still need to summarize it to make sense. But as an English language learner, I suggest that you understand each paragraph first, then here is my summary. That will take me about 15 seconds
Mhm.
to tell. There was a fire alarm at a school, and Jennifer, one of the teachers, tried to investigate. When she realized it was a false alarm, it was too late, and her ears still annoyed her. Okay, so that would be the summary of what I read. Without looking back at it, not looking at it to make sure that I got certain words. Now, if I was trying to build my vocabulary, I would look at all of the red words and try to say,
Mhm.
Jennifer was annoyed by the blaring alarm that went off. It seemed to be coming from someplace, but she wasn't sure. When the students were asked to leave, they had to apologize for moving so slow. But the
Mhm.
fireman never even came. But a police officer did show up, and he walked around and made that decision that it was a false alarm. But that's clearly saying that I understood what the meaning of the words are in red, and I can retell the story, summarize the story using the vocabulary words in red. Okay, so look at the
Okay.
five things that I've written, and you can summarize it for me, and then I think we should end the class for today. Look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Read each one of those.
Mhm. I have to summarize now. It's everything.
We'll first read 1 through 5 on the left side.
Okay.
Just read it just as it is.
Okay. Jennifer's ears were ringing.
Mhm.
A fire alarm went off. Everyone was asked to leave the building. It was a false alarm. Jennifer's ears were still ringing.
Okay, now summarize this entire article.
Uh, uh, Jennifer's ears were ringing. Were ringing by
Because
because it was a fire alarm.
So we could say Jennifer's ears were ringing because a fire alarm went off.
Went off. Yeah.
We-
Jennifer's ears were ringing because a fire alarm went off.
mhm. We know that everyone, I'm just adding some words. We know that everyone was asked to leave the building because it was a false alarm. However, Jennifer's ears were still ringing. You see how I just put some words in there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now try again.
Everyone was asked to leave the building because it was a false alarm. However, Jennifer's ears were still ringing.
Perfect. Very good. So that
Mm-hmm.
would be one way of being able to summarize. It just takes practice, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of practice,
Mm-hmm.
looking at each paragraph. And then now look at only the words in red
Yeah.
and tell me about the article. Just look at the words in red.
Yeah. Annoying. The blaring alarm. Apologize, fireman, police officer.
Mhm.
Um.
So you might say that Jennifer's ears were annoyed because of the blaring alarm.
Blaring, yeah, the Jennifer is annoyed by blaring alarm. The students apologize. No, seemed. It was seemed.
And the word seemed means the same as it appeared. It appeared that the school was
Yeah.
empty.
It seemed that school was empty. And the student apologized for being slow,
Mhm.
and instead of fireman, it was the police officer.
Very good. That showed up. Okay. Very
Mhm.
good. Very good. All right. So that hopefully that helps you a little bit with understanding how we might summarize
Mhm.
something